Yeah.
Oh, y'all ready? Okay.
Yeah. Want me a countdown or anything?
Go ahead.
Okay. In 3, 2, 1. It's 105K Jams, hip hop and R&B hits, and Heart and Soul 99.1 and 1050. We've got the PPBC Tulsa Music Awards, and our recipient today is the top live vocalist, Valarie Harding is here. Valarie, how are you?
I'm good.
It's great to see you once again and see you in person, to get a chance to talk to you in like a one-on-one format. Every time I see you, you're always performing.
Yes.
That's the difference.
Yep.
So let's take it back real quick to what I want to know is the first time you performed in front of a larger group of people.
Oh man, probably in a church setting.
Okay.
Because that's where I started singing at, and I have traveled around with my church and community choir, and even my family, who was a gospel singing group as well. Traveled around with them as a kid and a teenager. So it started back then. Yeah,
Okay.
It started back then.
Okay. Now, how would you consider yourself? Would you consider yourself a singer, vocalist, performer, or what do you call yourself?
Oh man, that's a good one. Of course, I consider myself a singer, and I would say probably a performer too, because I engage with the crowd, and I think that's what performers do. Because you can stand and sing anybody can stand and sing all day long.
Right.
But when it comes to the performance part, that's what gets the crowd involved and get them to feel you and your talent, your gift, and what you do. So, say somewhere in there.
Yes, yes. Now, over the years, since you've been in Tulsa, you've had the opportunity to perform live in front of a lot of people in Tulsa, a lot of big events. Tell us about the journey from day one in that church to getting on television on a major show.
Oh man. So since day one, I started off as a kid. Well, my mama had me singing. I was made to sing. I think when she finally heard that I had a little something, I did some oohs and ahs one day, she's like, oh, wait a minute, my baby can sing. So I was pushed to sing at a young age. And then, it just became something that I got used to. I have always sang. I've never really had any real time off. People, when I tell them that, they're like, huh? And it's really the truth, because I sang in church. We were church kids, so sang in church in the youth choir, kids choir, the mass choir, which is the adult choir as well. So I was a kid singing and helping the adults too, even when I didn't want to. Then it went from there to community choir. Then it went to, when I became a young adult, is when I came to Tulsa, and I met Wall Street, and I auditioned for them, and I've been singing with them ever since. That's been about 20 years. But I've sang when I was in the community choir. We traveled around, singing with so many different gospel artists. I mean, I could name several that I don't want to get into that type of stuff, but several that we had went and did conferences and workshops with. Then when I got with Wall Street, my very first main gig with them was opening up for Yarbrough and Peoples. So I kind of came straight from the church, which my choir director got so mad at me when I did that, to secular music. And my very first event with them was or big event. It was the second event I did with them. One was for Langston University, and then my next one was Yarbrough and People. So I was like,
you're right in.
They pushed me. So that helped to put me on TV. All these years, they pushed me into a leadership position, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. But Perry, and back then when Bobby Giles was in the band, they no, you need to do this, you need to do that, and I'm looking at them like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I had to do it, and being that leader and taking control of things in the band is what led me to do what I do now. It's led me to be able to invite other singers to the stage, let them showcase their singing and their talent. And that's just, what I've been doing. I've never stopped singing. I've just always, even when I tried to give up.
Yeah.
My phone is ringing and I'm like, oh Lord, okay, this is what you want me to do. So I just need to accept it and just keep going. And then, trying out for The Voice, did not think I was going to get a call back from that. And I did get a call back, and it just went from there. And I was like, what am I doing? Is this serious? And yes, it was serious. And I had to, put my big girl drawers on, because that's a whole another thing going out there. So, that's kind of been from a kid up until now,
Yeah.
Kind of how it's
So
been.
what have you noticed about the business of music on that level once you got to the voice aspect of what you just got finished participating in on that level? What did you notice that's different about doing music or singing or the business itself?
Oh man, I learned so much. I learned when it comes to singing, I learned that singing and my vocal cords is my life. And there's been times where, millions of times where I've sang and I've lost my voice. I've dealt with that as a teenager, and I've dealt with that. And then even before I went, I was dealing with that so much. But going there and being able to learn how to better take care of my voice, I learned that, hey, this is you. If you lose this, and if it breaks, there's no fixing it. It's not like an instrument that the guys play. This is my instrument, and when I overuse it and abuse it and I don't care about it, then that's all. I won't be able to, I won't have the gift that God blessed me with. So I learned that that's the most important thing beyond anything, is to take care of that first. And I learned that. And I think since I've been back home, I've probably only gotten hoarse a couple of times. But I've learned how to really take care of my voice, my vocal cords. I know I talked with Allie about that when she interviewed me one time. But yeah, there's so much when it comes to taking care of your voice. Business-wise, man, I learned so much. And I come back home and, it's different. It's different coming back home and dealing with people around here with business. It's so different because they don't care. When something you need to sign, something you got to be told, you got to do it. It ain't no talking. It ain't, you got to be ready. You got to do it. So I had to get that in me and, learn how to say no, learn how to decline certain things, let people understand who I am as not just a person, but as a singer. When it comes to this business, I didn't just come out 2 years ago.
Right.
I came out a long time ago, and it took me to get there to actually learn, talking to John Legend and talking to them. Hey, when you go back home, you're on a bigger level when you go back home. That's the purpose of that. Right. When you come back home, don't let nobody tell you no different. You go and you shouldn't have to go back to your day job. And that's what they develop us. It's about artist development. It's not always all about being on TV. Right. But it's about artist development and helping make us better singers in business and in, dealing with everything when it comes to it. So, man, I can go on and on. I could go on and on about it. But I am so, so happy that God put that in my life. It was hard work. The TV thing that you see, was only a few minutes what you see, but it was a lot of hours and hours and hours and hours and time put in for just those 2 or 3 minutes that we got on that stage for TV. Yeah. So it helped me with time management. It helped me in a lot of ways. Helped me deal with my band members better.
Well, we're immensely proud of you and what you've accomplished. And that takes us to, what do you want to do next? What's next on the horizon for Val?
For me, next is I'm working on my single still. We wanted it to be out a lot sooner, but I know it's not going to be perfect like I want it to be, because you know how especially women are, they but I'm a perfectionist.
Yeah.
And I know it's not going to be like that, so sooner or later I have to put it out, but I want it to be good. It's my very first one. I've been on a lot of other people's songs, but this is like me. So I want it to be right. I want it to sound good, and that's what we're working on now, making changes to it. So that's what I'm working on now, just, really making myself into, an artist for real. So that's what I'm working on, and I'm just crazy busy with engagements. Just crazy busy with, and I'm grateful for it. I'm tired, but I'm grateful.
There you go. There you go. How can people follow you on social media and keep track of what you're doing?
Valarie Harding on Facebook, and then Miss Val Harding Sings on Instagram.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations once again. The top live vocalist for the Prairie Publishing and Broadcasting Tulsa Music Award. The first one I think we've done for Tulsa. She's got our award right there. Congratulations, Val. We love you.
Thank
and
you.
keep rising and
Love
rising
y'all
and
too.
rising.
Thank you so much.
All right.